So CodeX is a developer apprenticeship program. So we're trying to grow the next generation of African coders to build for Africa. We want to give people the tools to be building for the industry the way that the industry builds. So our coders have come up with all kinds of apps and websites that are really tackling things that are real in their lives. For example, an informal money lending app. So, I mean, most of the money that goes around Africa is happening in the informal sector. And without even much, there was no big jump there. It was like an immediate thing to think of. As soon as one of our coders saw what an application could do, they thought of this. How quick that happens. I mean, that happened within 6 weeks of one of our coders being in the program. They could start to see these kinds of solutions. And for me, that's the most inspiring part of CodeX, which is, unleashing that ability onto so many people and that toolkit onto so many people who, it doesn't take much for them to start seeing how they can use technology to build companies. I studied at the University of Cape Town for a year. I studied economic development. Was very passionate about the potential of Africa. So from a very early age, as soon as I got to Africa, I just felt like it was home to me. I studied economic development, but I wasn't comfortable going into the field as I saw it at that time. And so I became a journalist. And for many years I worked for Bloomberg, eventually found myself more and more interested in technology and the future, and became their series producer of all kinds of shows on innovation and technology and startups. And in the middle of a really big project that I was doing on a startup accelerator in the States called Techstars, I went back to Africa for the first time to visit, not even thinking anything was gonna come of it, and was completely struck by the fact that even in the most rural areas, everybody had a mobile phone. And for me, I just couldn't get that out of my mind, that now the mobile phone was going to be this tool of connection that now every African would have to the world. We believe that this is the skill set of the 21st century, and that is going to be what's needed to drive Africa forward and have it be part of the global economy in a way that it just never really has before. And we want Africans themselves to have the skills to build the companies that are going to create value on the continent, because frankly, they're the ones who can see the answers to the problems that Africa faces. And so the way that we're going to grow CodeX is essentially, it's train the trainer, but it's on an ongoing basis because our own coders are the teachers. It's already happening, but it's not happening at scale. With a generation of people who can code in Africa, looking at African problems and creating the solutions that they see to those problems because they understand really the problems, that can happen at scale.